I know y'all ready, honey. I know y'all ready. Hey you guys, it's your boy Davian. Welcome to another episode of Consciouztv. Make sure you guys comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Press all when you do so that you can keep up with all of my latest uploads. You can also donate to the show at my Cash App, which is $Consciouztv, and or you can PayPal me at paypal.me/Consciouztv, and you can email me at consciouztv@gmail.com. You guys already know what we're here to discuss. Let's get into it. So welcome back to my channel, you guys. I want to say hello to all of my new subscribers. I got hundreds more subscribers due to Thaddeus Madison posting my previous video on her community tab. So I want to say thank you to Maddie. So you guys know I have to give up my shout outs because I don't do super chat. Kenya and Denitria, thank you guys for donating to my Cash App. I really appreciate you guys. I'm looking forward to continuing to entertain you all, inform you all, be in conversation and dialogue with you all. And I just thank you for the love. Now, you guys know that the Queen Supreme Court aired Monday night and the Cussing Pastor himself graced the motherfucking stage. I want to really shout out T.S. Madison first and foremost for diversifying her portfolio. This is the first heterosexual male to get on the show. I know some of you guys will beg to differ, but we call people based upon how they identify and not how we identify them. So having a secure heterosexual man was really huge, and I think that was a major positive for the heterosexual black male community, because as Maddie touched on a little bit, she would love to have more heterosexual men come onto the show, but we also know how fragile black men's masculinity is, and unfortunately, a lot of black men are not so secure within their sexuality that they would be able to sit in a house full of LGBT people and sit alongside a transgender woman herself, even if it is for the sake of money, even if it is for the sake of entertainment, even if this is all business. Despite all of that, black men feel like queerness is almost damn near contagious. First and foremost, I enjoyed Thaddeus. I actually have never watched the Cussing Pastor's commentary. I've seen like snippets of his stuff, but this was my first time actually getting super acquainted with his personality. And I have to say, I actually not only like Thaddeus Matthews, but I also respect him for actually being who he is, because Thaddeus Matthews and his relationship to God is what I'm going to look like at 80. I am already, if Thaddeus Matthews is the cursing pastor, then certainly I am the cursing prince, because I enjoy language. I enjoy colorful language. I enjoy profane language. My mother cursed like a goddamn sailor, so this was language that was just a part of our vernacular growing up. And even though my mom also was really big on me and my brother getting an education and being educated, she also definitely prepared us in terms of having street smarts. So we know how to lingo and how to get with anybody, whether we're talking to Sigmund Freud, Aristotle, Plato, or Kaya and the 305 girls. We were able to sit at the table with anyone and be fucking versatile. A lot of people see Thaddeus Matthews as the male Kaya. A lot of people know that he has made disparaging comments toward the LGBT community. I was glad that Thaddeus Matthews had an opportunity to speak for himself. He wanted to go on record and also declare that he has no moral, philosophical, ethical issue with the gay community. People can do what the fuck he wants. He don't give a damn whether you eat ass, suck dick, take it in the ass, like the fuck ass. He just don't really give a damn. It's none of his damn business. But he also felt like in a war of words, and when there is beef, all things are off limits. It is even game. So whether you're black, white, straight, or gay, when it comes to fucking with him, anybody can get the business, and he absolutely is going to be politically incorrect. Now, to an extent, I really do understand that. Now, let me tell you something about me. Everybody else can get slapped. Period. Like, I ain't about to waste my time arguing. I ain't about to waste my time doing nothing, bitch. Are you so pressed that you want to fight is my question. Be pressed enough to fight, because I'm not about to sit here and waste my time and waste my beautiful voice arguing with you. Are you kidding me? She corrected Thaddeus. She told Thaddeus, look, you know, I understand that you were old ass nigga. You was raised up in an old ass, cruel ass time that didn't have a lot of respect for LGBT people. So, because you as old as Methuselah, you know, I understand that you are going to have to learn that some of the language that y'all weaponize and that y'all just use socially toward, you know, LGBT people is something that we just don't do today. Now, Thaddeus was humble and gracious enough to actually say, you know what, I'm going to work on it. I'm still gonna call a motherfucker all type of sissy ass and punks if a motherfucker come for me and fuck with me. But just in terms of my everyday lingo, if I gotta talk, you know, about the LGBT community just in general, I'm going to try to remember, you know, some of these keywords you've given me. And I think that that's a fair balance. Because look, here's the thing, people. We can't keep canceling every motherfucking person. Now, a lot of these new school niggas who living in our generation right now, they have no excuse, you know, to employ stupid and offensive as language. But to a lot of the people like our elders, we actually do really owe them the opportunity to get with the program. I'll never forget, and my device is dying, so I'm gonna have to really skim through this. I'll never forget years ago when I came out to my grandmother. I remember her telling me that she knew a gay guy when she was growing up, and that this guy used to do her hair, and this guy used to do my mom's hair and all them when they were little girls. And my grandma referred to this guy as a punk. She said, you know, I used to know this punk, you know, way back when in my day, and this punk used to do our hair. And I was gagging inside of myself because my grandma said punk so casually. And when I went into having a conversation with her about that lingo, you know, she went to explain to me the same thing that Thaddeus explained to me, which is that during their day, this is how you categorize or differentiated homosexuals from heterosexuals. You know, terms like sissy, terms like punk, while these things also could be said offensively, they also were used just as casually to identify gay people, the way that today we use terms like queer, we use terms like gay, we use terms like same-gender loving. These terms were neutral and weren't always necessarily negative and weren't always interpreted as offensive. Now, we've graduated all types of languages as a society. We've always challenged language. We've always kind of climbed the vocabulary scale, climbed the emotional scale. As societies have become more sophisticated, as people became more a part of the status quo, people having more visibility and coming into more normality amongst society had to accommodate that. We're traveling from a very oppressed, suppressed place to now a place where there are gay people. Too many gay people are now at the table, on our TV screens, in our families, in our households, to still be using language that others them and that reinforces a marginalization or that reinforces some type of a condemnation. And for those of us on the other side of that language, we do have the responsibility of being patient. I know that I do. I personally, speaking for me, I am not the CEO of the Rainbow Coalition. I am not the head dean of the LGBT University. I am speaking for myself. I am not willing to throw away everybody who is still trying to figure all of this shit out, because I understand that their privilege allowed them to live ignorantly, to think ignorantly, and to refer to gay people in ignorant ways, because that's just the consequence of being privileged. And the consequence of not being privileged is that you lived in a world where other people controlled your narrative, so we oftentimes nodded our heads as well, and we didn't challenge the status quo, because that's the dynamic of the privileged and the underclass. Now that the underclass is becoming the upper class, we now have more of an incentive to control the narrative and to say, no, you cannot refer to me as that. That is actually offensive, etc. So as far as I'm concerned, I was impressed. I like that people are trying to change. I like people who ask questions. I like that Thaddeus Matthews was asking Maddie, you know, can I say this and let me whisper this to you and see if that's okay. I love that because it was an attempt at respect. The attempt was honored. And, you know, I encourage all gay people, look, a lot of atrocious things are still happening to us as queer people. Trans women are still being killed by the bundle. LGBT people are still being killed and assaulted. I feel like the people like Thaddeus Matthews, the people like our grandparents, the people like our aunties and uncles who actually are trying to understand, they're trying to doctor up the language, they're trying to, you know, figure this thing out. We have to give them a real shot at trying to get it together. Everybody deserves that. Once upon a time, we thought it was cool to pick on dark-skinned people. We thought it was cool to make dark-skinned jokes. We had no idea how anti-black that shit was during the 90s. We had no idea how anti-black that shit was during the 80s. Look at all the old school comedy where the comedy was actually geared toward cracking on dark-skinned people, talking about their skin, talking about they darker than midnight. You know, these things, there was no clapback to these things, and nobody saw these things as anti-black because that wasn't the conversation in that era. But now look at us, because of colorism, because of these conversations, because we're having more intellectual conversations, and because we are in need of more visibility, we now have an opportunity to repent for a lot of the ways we've treated people and a lot of the things we've said. And everybody has felt everybody in that sense. We've all participated either in our silence or we were the ones throwing all the shots in those ways. Everybody deserves an opportunity to get it right. And if people are trying, if you know, the fact that he even entered into such a space with so many LGBT people was really commendable all by itself. So I pray that Thaddeus Matthews stays on the core. I encourage his LGBT fan base, when you see his ass slipping, check his ass, get his ass information. And I applaud Madison. It was a very balanced check and balance, you know. There was no need to crucify him. He was there humbling himself. He was there asking questions. And I feel like that was the perfect middle ground for them both. So, good job, Thaddeus. I hope Thaddeus actually goes and have a bigger conversation about all of this with his own heterosexual community. I hope he talks about the importance of language and making our LGBT people feel welcomed and safe. And even for those who still believe that being gay is wrong and being trans is wrong, look, cool. You can still feel that way. And you don't have to give up your beliefs in order to respect people. You can refer to LGBT people in respectable ways while still believing that that shit is not of God, etc., etc., etc. I have a lot of beliefs about a lot of people. I have a lot of opinion about a lot of things, but I'm going to respect the community in the world at large, and I'm going to treat people how I want to be treated when I am in their face, when I'm having to deal with them, despite how I personally feel. That's only the mature thing to do. So I know you guys will leave your comments in the comment section, and you guys will tell me your opinion. What do you think about Thaddeus Matthews on the Queen Supreme's court? Do y'all feel like we have to throw everybody out, even those who are trying? Like, do they not get an opportunity to do this differently? Do people not get an opportunity to change? Comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. All my donation information will be in the description box below. I'll talk to you guys later.